I'm going to show you a few things that you can do in Microsoft Teams to adapt assignments for students quite easily. So the first thing is when you make a new assignment, just create assignment. One really helpful thing is that you can attach a template for students. So for example, if you always have students do the same, say PowerPoint assignment, it's helpful if you even just make a general outline of that assignment. And then you'll notice right now it says students can't edit. But if you click on these three dots, you can change this so it says students can edit their own copy. Another thing that can be really helpful is, and obviously these are not for the same project, but I'm going to upload these both together here. Let students edit their own copy. And then I'm going to show you what those look like in Teams. So for the career research assignment, I have a little template and I have my instructions page as the first slide. And then students don't maybe have to go screen to screen or tab to tab to find the instructions. I also have just a general template of what I'm looking for, sometimes some key questions to help. So if you know every student is pretty much going to need this exact template, I don't know, it takes me about 5 minutes to do up a little template, save it, and then of course students don't all have to use that template if they don't want to. They can create their own, they can add slides, delete them, but it does save students with less technology experience a little bit of time. Another helpful thing is if you upload an assignment, a reading, a worksheet onto Teams, it gives me a huge benefit to be able to type right into here for some students who may struggle with writing. So rather than writing this on paper, students can type it. And more coolly and importantly is if I go into the Immersive Reader function, which is not Designer, it's Immersive Reader, obviously, Taryn. And then I can never find it, so I just go Immersive Reader. So it does a few things for me. One, and I really have been pushing this, but it's because it's awesome. So you can change the text size, you can change the text themes. If you're more of a black background, you can mess with the grammar. You can do line focus. If students have trouble seeing all the information at once, it makes it easy for chunking. And you can also translate. Now, this isn't perfect. It's not the best translation ever sometimes, but you can either choose to translate the whole document or allow for word by word translation. Then instead of a student, say, trying to type the assignment in on their phone, they can translate the whole thing. So I've switched it to Arabic and I've asked it to translate the whole document. And then the beautiful thing is in some languages, it will read it out as well.
أساطير حول العالم تؤدي إحالة. واحد نقطة اختار واحدة من الأساطير.
So that's pretty cool. So some students that aren't literate in their first language can understand the spoken directions, but they won't be able to read this translation. So that's why the audio is so helpful. It's not available for all languages, unfortunately, not Kurdish or Nepali, for example, but many of the languages are available and it is fairly accurate. In order for this to work well, you have to make sure that you're not using a bunch of idioms and that you're using clear language. So rather than using like a general word, like look up a definition, you might want to say, define this and use the specific verb rather than, an idiom or a phrasal verb. So that's something to keep in mind. Those are two little things that you can do when you're uploading assignments that can be super helpful for students.